Hi everyone, I'm Nancy.
And I'm Stephanie.
And if you enjoy our show, please like and subscribe.
And hit that notification bell.
We're also on Instagram at Oh, the meat. Is that why that was out? I'm like, you don't eat meat. Why is the tenderizer out?
You can use this also, like if you have almonds and you want to chop them up in a salad.
Well, yeah.
You take it and you put it in a bag and you go.
Yeah. We're also on Instagram at TWiN, and you can also find us on X. Today is Friday. We're going to do 2 lives this weekend because there is so much news. We've got Harry's citizenship. We've got Meghan's fake mansion that she's filming her cooking show, and there's like strawberry fields forever, and we've got the pictures of all that. We've got Dave Portnoy listening to Taylor Swift's new album. I'm not a Swiftie, I'm not a fan. Stephanie, I guess, listened to it.
I'm a Swiftie.
He's freaking out just like Stephanie is, because she knocks Kim Kardashian, but we'll get all, let's not talk about it now, get all that this weekend.
I want to talk about the ARL woman who grabbed the domain name.
Yes.
And then getting other people to buy, you know, the jam from the king. I mean, that's genius.
Yeah, so we are going to talk all about that this weekend with you, and that's why we saved those fun stories, because I always like, we'll talk about it, and then I'll say, what do you guys think? Well, this way, during our lives, we can be like, well, what do you guys think? Plus, a lot of Miss Peaches videos have come out. It's going to be a lot of fun. I love Miss Peaches. And then we'll also talk about what we will be wearing for our tea party on the 23rd. But today, we're going to have a fun reaction video. Actually, this isn't fun at all, okay? You know those pictures of Meghan, and then Meghan's mole made that video of her walking in like that really short dress, and she was pregnant, and the bump was going back and forth.
Yeah. Okay. The black and white dress.
Yeah. It was that black and white dress.
Yeah.
And it always looked a little funny, allegedly. But I always wondered, like, what was that day? It was International Women's Day. And this was back when she had just become vice president of the Queen's Commonwealth Trust. Now, this is a huge, huge deal. And I can't even imagine if I was a feminist like Meghan claims to be a feminist and care about women, the platform, I would be like, oh my God, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. I mean, just imagine the global platform. They mention the global platform. It's like all the Commonwealth countries. She just really blew this.
She gave it all up.
Big time.
Yeah,
she brings up the commercial, and that's all she has on her resume.
Yep.
India, Rwanda, commercial. I'm not kidding. Now, of course, we're not going to watch the entire hour like I had to. So you got Annie, you got that beautiful model, Adwoa. Meghan is looking like she's bored. She looks like she does that envious thing. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of people saying, why are you guys picking on this person? Some people have bad days. I get that. Some people have bad days and they're sitting there and they have other things on their mind. I get that, okay? The problem is I have never seen Meghan at an event where her mask doesn't fall like that.
Yeah. That's why she pulled out of the royal family.
Yeah.
She can't do walkabouts. The mask falls.
Well, this was really bad. Here we go.
We celebrate women, and our topic is such a hopeful and forward-looking one. And it's how we can use the convening power of International Women's Day to mean a lot more than a limp bunch of fluff.
Meghan does this thing when they start talking about anything women's or the women's bios or anything like that. She just looks nervous. And I would be nervous too. If I was on a panel with those accomplished women, I'd be freaking nervous too. If all I had under my belt was a commercial.
She's sort of glaring. I don't see nervousness. I see like glaring right now.
It gets worse.
Or desks or bedsides. And all of my guests have stimulating, challenging thoughts on the obstacles facing.
Now, right away, you can see Adwoa and Annie kind of just together. Their body language shows that they figured Meghan out. Either Meghan must have been a diva backstage, or she didn't meet them at first, or something happened, because look at how far away they are.
Yeah, it is kind of strange.
It is.
Annie Lennox, OBE, a musician who's challenged and cheered us with her songs and her campaigning on women's issues, and founder of The Circle, which supports empowering.
And do you see what I mean? It's just this kind of contempt. I don't know if it's boredom.
No, it's not boredom. She's listening to every single thing they're saying. The
Yeah.
problem is they're not saying anything about her. And that's the mask right there. There is no mask. They've already fell. It fell before she even got on stage.
Innovative ways in some of the poorest parts of the world. She's also won a Nobel Woman of Peace Award for her work on HIV and AIDS prevention. And next to Annie is Adwoa Aboah, an activist, model, and founder of the Great Girls Talk, an online forum where young women can discuss mental health safely, such an important issue at the moment. She's also just been issued as a rather cool Barbie.
And the second she touches her, Adwoa's skin just begins to crawl. Like,
I don't know. People need personal space, especially when you don't know someone, you know. And I don't like. Listen, any of my ex-boyfriends could say I don't like being touched. So I would get freaked out too.
Yeah,
There's some people that just don't like it.
I can usually tell when somebody because I'm a hugger, I'm a toucher, I'm very tactile, but I can usually tell when the person wants it. You could just tell Adwoa just wants to be next to Annie.
Yeah.
Sugary pink. I think we're all pleased. Next to
Adwoa, she doesn't even want to recognize the fact that Meghan touched her. She just turns to Annie because Annie is like her safe space right now.
Yeah, and also Adwoa was called, Barbie, which is a sign of endearment to women. That's a big deal. Like, oh my God, you look like Barbie. You look like Barbie.
Yeah.
She didn't want Adwoa to get the attention, so of course she touched her.
Of course.
Yeah, that's what happened.
She does that to Harry.
Adwoa, who will not be known as Barbie, is Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex, who started her feminist journey at the age of 11.
Started her feminist journey at the age of 11. Oh my God.
Advertising. In her present role, she's been a vociferous spokeswoman, a royal not afraid to embrace full-on feminism. Morning, Royal Highness. Just a quick one as we're among friends. I mean, how's that bump treating you?
Very well. It's funny. I've actually been joking in the past few weeks. I'd seen this documentary on Netflix.
Two
noses.
That means you're lying. That's interesting.
My ex-husband was a lawyer. He's a litigator. And he would tell me all these ways of knowing when people were lying. But it's not, you can't go by that. A court won't say, well,
no, but that's Seinfeld, Nancy.
But it's definitely the nose touching is lying.
Yeah, Jerry Seinfeld always said, the higher you go up on the head, the bigger the lie.
Yeah.
This is a classic.
Feminism, and one of the things they said during pregnancy was, I feel the embryonic kicking of feminism. I love that. So boy or girl, whatever it is, we hope that that's the case with our little
The next generation of feminism is already on the way there. Guaranteed. You heard it here first. Julia Gillard, what made you such a passionate?
Okay, so now they're asking Annie, and then they're going to go to Adwoa. What made you want to do this? And it really is sweet, and I want you guys to hear it because it really is nice.
And committed activist for women's rights. I think I'll go to Annie.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. It's a beautiful introduction to everyone, and good morning, everybody. Well, you may know me as historically as a performer, a singer-songwriter, and I was on a career. I was very, very driven. But when I had my first child, I will be honest, I lost my first baby. So that was a very catastrophic event. But
yes.
Wow, she used...
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And this isn't the only time that I think she's going to lift stories from these two women. You guys are going to notice this.
She really is another ripoff. I mean, that's all she is.
there's always something that you can gain from very hardcore things like that. Basically, it changed my paradigm, and I started to understand that motherhood is the most extraordinary thing. I went on to have 2 more beautiful, healthy daughters, and as a mother, I understood more like the universality of being a woman and mother. And my paradigm shifted. I was later taken to South Africa, where I was invited in via Nelson Mandela's 46664 AIDS and HIV/AIDS Foundation.
This is where I think she's kind of like getting the ideas for saying that the people of South Africa rejoiced in the streets the day of her wedding.
Oh, Nelson
Mandela's family was so happy for her. And
this to amplify my platform, whatever platform I had, to try to advocate, to try to raise money for, for grassroots organizations. And I just think that motherhood, women are the mothers of the world. We deserve, girls, women, mothers, we deserve respect. We deserve to be treated well. And that means globally.
Globally. Big word for you, and I know you're going to come back to that.
Oh, good morning.
Okay, so far, Meghan complained when she left the royal family that she wanted to like do her own thing. She wants to be global and all this stuff. Well, isn't this global?
It's pretty global.
Pretty freaking global.
But you also have to remember Meghan's whole scam was to be monetized. She wanted to start her own Instagram. Yeah. She doesn't like women.
Yes, well, yeah, here we go.
So this is not the right place for her right now.
My name's Adwoa, obviously, and I thought that the best way to explain Girls Talk would be to read our mission statement that we revamped in celebration of International Women's Day today. So, Girls Talk is a movement that creates safe spaces, both on and offline.
Listen, it's side-eye, and I don't like how she keeps looking her up and down.
Well, she's looking at her nose. She's looking at her nose.
No, she is. She's looking her up and down, because she did it to Annie, too. She was going like this.
I mean, she's next to a freaking model.
Yeah, but when women do that to other women, they're going,
oh, yeah.
They're sizing them up.
That's true.
And that's a really negative thing to do to other women.
For people around the world to share, listen, and support each other without judgment or shame. Girls Talk welcomes everyone, however we may define ourselves and our communities. There are no outsiders here. At Girls Talk, no subject is off limits. We talk about our experiences of mental health, body image, sexuality, self-care, and so much more. Girls Talk empowers us to be honest, to question the world around us, to take action, and to strive for diverse, inclusive representation.
She's sizing her up.
It's just so bully-like.
Equality and positive change. By sharing our experiences and creating safe spaces, our community breaks down boundaries and lifts each other up. We challenge stereotypes, we fight inequality, and together we change the world around us. So that's my mission statement, but to take it back to the kind of the reason why I started it.
Uncomfortable.
Sizing her up.
It's very much.
So I wanted to show this. Do you see the pattern?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it supposed to be like it looks like
we could talk
about this all day.
That's a whole different video.
I just wanted to show that part, but I'm not going to say anything about it, allegedly.
He said it came from a couple of hard years that happened in my life, and on the 4th of October, the 3rd of October 2014, I tried to take my own life. And
so right there is when Meghan is supposedly having these exact same thoughts and feelings, okay? Yep. Meghan's the one who says she cries at the drop of a hat and, flings herself on the couch whenever Kate makes her cry. But I'm just saying it just doesn't look like this even registered.
Well, what I've read about, narcissists, when they hear a true story of someone going through mental issues, wanting to off themselves, just doing harm upon themselves, either they start laughing or they disengage, because the narcissist wants to be the one with those feelings, but they're never going to feel anything. Do you know what I mean? It's like I'm shocked she's not smiling.
Maybe it's going, okay, well, I can take Annie's story and now Adwoa's story, combine them together.
It's catastrophic.
This is going to be a catastrophic
event.
What happened after that is when I got through all the pain and the hard work that I'd kind of put into my well-being, I realized that through the pain, I had a great responsibility to give back and use my story to evoke some sort of change and create a relationship with others where they could possibly relate and feel less alone.
I already love her.
I know, I told you you'd fall in love with her.
Well, no, because it really is.
She took a horrible situation that she went through, and she's trying to have other women that have had the same experience feel less alone. And Meghan, right now, if you are having those feelings, you've got someone right next to you that is telling you, come to me, talk to me, let's get together.
I created Girls Talk because I felt that throughout school, I was never given a safe space where I felt like I could speak confidentially and express what was going on in my life. And it wasn't necessarily something as big as wanting to take my life at that point, but, you know, it was not feeling confident in my own skin. It was, you know, not having a boyfriend. They were all very small things at that time, but because that's I didn't. A small thing. No, but you know, to everyone else, they felt like a small thing, and it wasn't until later on in life where it just bubbled up and got to that point. And so that, you know, very much like you said, through the pain and through realizing this, I just felt like a humongous sense of responsibility to give back and to make other girls.
Jeez. Is that bullish, that stuff?
Yeah. I'm really surprised she used Adwoa for the Forces of Change for Vogue, but I'm sure it had to do with that she's a model and she has the girls talk, and Meghan just needed to get
part of this trend.
Yeah, you could definitely tell that Meghan and her just don't get along, even though they're probably working together right now for that cover. But I doubt Meghan was really that involved when it came to like shooting the girls.
No.
Yeah, so.
Feel less alone. And what's brilliant now, talking to Annie as well about, you know, what she's trying to set with global feminism, is that we want to make sure with Girls Talk that we're spreading the word all over the world. It's not just about here, but with everyone. So yes, in short, that's it.
Isn't that what you want to do, Meghan, too? You want to spread the word. You want to get it out.
Yeah.
This sounds perfect for you. And you're working with her right now for the cover of Vogue with all those other change makers. You two should be friends. Talk to her.
Already striking, isn't it, how from personal experiences and trauma and hardship, extraordinary things grow and ideas are planted. So, you know, come to you, Your Royal Highness. You've been out there as a feminist since the age of 11, possibly earlier, if so I missed that story. But to give us a...
Look at... She was like over that 11-year-old.
That was so nice that Annie gave her the water.
They're each other's rock right now.
That's
you
so
can just
cool.
tell. There's just something comforting between the two of them.
Well, they're both not liars.
That's true.
Yeah, they both actually have experiences of trauma.
And they're good people.
Yeah.
Insight to your personal journey and what made you decide that this is the thing you want to engage in most of all.
See how they're in sync.
What do you want to do with it now, with the role that you have?
Yes, of course. Thank you, and good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. At the age of 11, I had seen a commercial.
Now, don't worry. I'm not going to make you listen to this, but I am going to show you how long it is that she talks about the exact same thing that we've heard 5,000 times.
Oh.
The time that I found to be very sexist, and you know, I told 11, I didn't think I really knew what sexism meant. I just knew that something struck me internally. No one was telling me that it was wrong, but I knew that it was wrong. And I think sort of using that as my moral compass and moving through from the age of 11, being able to see that at that age, I was able to actually change this commercial before social media, before being able to, you know, have a larger reach, just putting pen to paper. It really set up the trajectory for me to say, if things are wrong, there's injustice and there's inequality, then somebody needs to say something. And why not me? So I think, you know, if you ever look at that.
I'm not kidding. You can go back. This is all about the commercial. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Go back and watch it if you don't believe me.
From that young age, and then sort of follow what I did in the years after that. It was always about learning more, not just from where I was, but where else in the world similar things were happening, a different version of the same thing, so to speak. And once I became old enough to travel specifically to developing countries and see what was happening abroad.
She only went
for the pictures.
Rwanda twice.
For a photo op.
And India once.
And she scared the children. We have a video of it.
There is absolutely no proof of this woman doing any other service like that. Look at the pictures of her and Trevor. They like going to Mexico. Yeah. They like going to Jamaica. They like going to Hawaii. They were that kind of couple.
She's a beach girl.
Yeah.
The girls and how that has a ripple effect on so many things. And I think, you know, it seems like a broad stroke, and many people will say, okay, fine, yes, you want
Okay, if you want to know about this part, this is just her talking about how girls don't have education in developing countries. We know, Meghan. What are you doing about it?
She's sticking to the script, that's for sure.
Everything she's talked about 5,000 times, she is saying now, I'm not kidding, watch it if you want, but don't waste your time.
Education. You know, when you look at it, you could say, here are the vulnerabilities and the challenges that come about when they don't have access to education, right? Early childhood marriage, susceptibility to trafficking, modern slavery, all of that. But equally, what are all the positives that come out of it when you do have access to education for young girls? How it affects economic development, the GDP, billions of dollars on the table are lost by girls being pulled out of education. So I think when I look at it from those terms,
it would be impossible for me to sit back and not do something about it. And I think
Really, Meghan?
It's impossible.
Because right now you're making strawberry crap jam.
For no reason.
Yeah.
It is not going towards anything.
Nothing.
I don't know what you're doing on a global level.
Archwell lost
feminism.
Archwell lost $17 million.
I think, you know, looking at my role that I'm very, very privileged to have now with the QCT platform, to be able to go to 53 Commonwealth countries and do this level of work all across the globe, because again, it is about global feminism. It is about a parity and equality for all of us. And so,
Wait, how many Commonwealth countries did she end up going to? I don't think it was 53.
3.
for all of us. And so, yeah, it started at 11, but it still feels like it's just the beginning.
You know why it feels like it's the beginning? Because it is the beginning. You haven't done anything.
I'm getting sick and tired of her saying global. She is in the most expensive zip code. That's where she's living, allegedly. Yeah. She's living in the most expensive,
Culver City's the most
expensive zip code in the United States of America. And she's talking about being a global feminist.
No.
She's so full of poo.
Yeah. Now watch her just like weird reaction after she's done with the story. And I can just tell, like, she probably just feels like poo because she had to stretch like all that time to talk about a commercial and 2 trips to Rwanda and India. So, I mean, I'm just saying, like, that was a lot.
Sponsored trips.
I don't get the feeling you're going to let that one go easily, but do we need to just be sure, just a short answer? Do you think we need to be better about selling this to men and boys? Do we get a bit trapped in sort of almost behaving as if it's only a subject for women? What do we need to just do differently there?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I think,
you know, it's interesting because they're not separate conversations. And I think the idea of feminism and whatever stigmatization.
You guys have all heard the, no, we should all include men in conversations and da-da-da. Again, this is all stuff we've heard before. You're more than welcome to listen to it. It's on YouTube.
Just that word in and of itself, to Annie's point, making it global feminism changes that conversation immediately. But for men to understand they can be feminists as well. I mean, I think when we talk about gender stereotypes shifting, what it means to be masculine, what it means to be feminine. You know, I've said for a long time, you can be feminine and feminist. You can be masculine, and I think in terms of masculinity, you understand that your strength includes knowing your vulnerabilities. And your sense of self and security, your confidence, comes in knowing that a woman by your side, not behind you, is actually something that you shouldn't be threatened about. But as opposed to that, you feel really empowered and having that additional support. That this is really about us working together. That's what gender equality means for me. And having men part of that conversation to say, there's nothing threatening about a woman coming up to the same level. It's our safety in numbers. This is our power and our strength as a team. So, and that's gender neutral, if you really think about it. So I hope that men are part of the conversation.
my husband certainly is.
Yeah, don't let him off.
Adwoa's done. She doesn't clap.
Thank you.
But it's interesting with women like Meghan who disrespect other women, who don't really like being around other women. They always want to get men involved in the conversation. I worked at a charity for 2 years that was all girls. And the last thing those kids wanted was a dude to come into the room. You know what I mean? That was the last thing they wanted because they needed to have a safe space. They needed to feel like they were heard. And that, you know,
I think Annie and Adwoa just explained global feminism. It doesn't sound like silly and communists and, you know.
No, I mean, I'm watching it for
care.
the first time and I'm the last person who's a feminist. And I'm telling you, like, what they said resonated to me and I think it's great. So more power to them. Meghan's the same old stuff. It's like it's a rotating door. It's a dishwasher. It's a hamster wheel. We all got it.
I mean, what do you guys think?
I could say her speech. I know by heart.
What do you guys think? If you were having those sort of thoughts in your head and you were pregnant and someone was telling this story of them having the same thoughts and them saying, I started an organization where we can talk about this and you have a safe space with me. You can talk about it.
Yeah, I love that.
Meghan showed zero emotion.
Yeah.
I thought that was the most perplexing part of the video. Yeah. So I don't listen. I never believed certain parts of the Oprah interview. Mm-hmm. And when I say certain parts, I mean 100% of it.
That's when it all flipped. It all flipped. I actually believed when they moved to Canada, I was like, maybe it is so they want to start like a quiet life of charity. I believed it. And this is the kind of videos that bother me because I completely fell for her tricks. Completely got bamboozled because it's like I didn't even see what was right in front of me.
I was getting pictures for our dad tribute yesterday when I was editing the video, and I had to go to your Facebook page because you're really good at like putting birthday pictures. I don't use Facebook anymore, so I was just kind of like lifting them for your Facebook page. Dude, in 2017, you were obsessed with Meghan Markle. You had her pictures everywhere.
And I'll admit it, it was on my Instagram. I just bought into it and I thought, but in my head, because I was such an idiot, I guess, in my head, I'm going, she's going to change things. She's going to change the monarchy. She's going to bring people in. She's going to switch it up. She's going to team up with Princess Catherine, and they're going to be like this Shira and Superwoman. You know, it's I believed it, and that's what bothers me. She completely snowed me. You know, I don't need another Kardashian. I don't need another Kim. We have 5 Kims. We don't need another one, or 6 Kims. How many do we have now?
We have a lot.
We have a lot now.
Today's animal rescue is Foster Dogs NYC. Fostering really, truly does 100% save lives. Foster Dogs is the leading organization in creating positive, inclusive foster communities by providing support, experience, and innovative programs. Please go over there, check it out, donate if you can. If you can't, it's fine. Just read about it. Send it to friends and family to say, hey, look at this place.
If I knew that I could foster animals without keeping them, I tried it once, guys.
It's impossible.
I tried it. And guess what? Ended up with 5 cats.
Yeah, she had 5 cats.
And I'm deathly allergic to cats.
Well, not deathly. I wouldn't say not deathly, but don't be Meghan.
I think people know I'm not Meghan and that I'm joking around, but I swelled up like a bloated whale. Had hives everywhere and I couldn't breathe. Remember we had to get humidifiers?
Yeah.
They were the best.
I didn't even live with her and I had to get a humidifier for my house because the dander on the clothes when I would come over here.
We had 5 cats.
Yeah, but they were so sweet.
They were
totally worth it.
Oh, they were the best.
We will see you tomorrow for our live.
I'm so excited for lives. I love lives so much more than tapes.
I know, because I can't scream in between takes when
there's no editing. There's no editing.
She hates it when I make her stay on a schedule.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah. Okay, guys.
Why?
Got it.
Why?
Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.